in, you guys. I've got a new walk and talk. We're going to talk about one of my favorite childhood actresses from the 1980s, Valerie Bertinelli. She was recently featured in People magazine, and she talked about how she needed to stop weighing herself as a means of protecting her mental health. And I was reading the article and reading all these quotes, which I have right here and will be sharing with you today. And I'm like, I have lots more thoughts to share based on what she shared. So coming in, guys, getting started a little bit early like I always do. I like to come on and just jibber jabber with you for just a few minutes before we get into the main topic. Big, bright, beautiful, sunshiny day here in South Carolina. As you can see, the big fireball in the sky behind me looks so beautiful with those blue skies. It is a gorgeous day here. And I think it's like 51 degrees. It actually froze overnight. When I woke up this morning, it was 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So pretty darn cold when I first woke up. But it's already gotten up to 51, I believe, as of a couple minutes ago. And it's supposed to be like in the 70s by this afternoon when I do my ice bath. So funky weather. But thank you guys for being here. I will start the message here in about 3 minutes. I always like to come on early, jibber jabber with you guys. Let's see who's here. Jello Network, Lelin, SH, Carnivore Lady, Land a Table, Debbie, Allie, Bulletproof, Keto and Deli, JP, Keto and Deli says hello. What up? Mary is here. Deb, Dawn, Carnivore Lady says good morning. Good morning, Carnivore Lady. Thanks for being here. Dawn Marie is here. Stacy, SLP. Debbie says, good morning, sunshine. Hello, sunshine. I do love my sunshine. Tammy's here. Low Carb Cure. Ja is here. Bulletproof says, go, Jimmy. Yes, later today, you guys. Day 100 in a row of doing an ice bath. I have an interesting idea. I need to work on some things after I'm done with the walk and talk. If I'm going to pull off what I want to do for day 100. I wanted to do something special, so I have an idea. I don't want to share it. I want it to be a surprise. You'll have to come back at 5 p.m. Eastern to see what it is. Stacy says, you look great. Thank you. I feel great. I think all the ice baths and all just the being in a good state of mind has really served me well. I have been pretty stress-free. Pretty energetic, like all the things. So I'm in a good place. Wendy's here. Dawn Marie says, hey, Jimmy, what's up? What's up? Tammy says it's snowing in Pennsylvania. Yes. Sorry for all my friends in the north. I do realize it's still very frigid and snowy. Very, very uncomfortable. Sugar Star is here. Debbie says cold with no sun in Western New York, 38 degrees, yes. Rosemary as well. So yeah, you guys, I have a topic today that I think is so perfect. Now, you guys know in these walk and talks, I talk about all kinds of stuff. I don't just talk about diet and health and nutrition and all the things that you typically know me for. I like to get into some mindset things. And today's article, which I don't usually like to print out articles and read, but today you'll see why. It kind of crosses both. I think getting yourself into a mindset when you're on any kind of health journey is going to be so important. Because if you start a health journey and you're not in a good state of mind, you're probably setting yourself up for failure. And when I read this People magazine article all about Valerie Bertinelli, and SH says, I've read her book called Enough Already. Yes, I need to get a copy of that book, but she talks very openly about her struggles with her weight and how she's had these struggles for pretty much most of her life. My brother Kevin and I had a major crush on Valerie Bertinelli when she was on One Day at a Time in the 1980s. And she was great. Skinny, cute little actress, and was amazing on that show. And of course, she's gone on to do other things, Hot in Cleveland with Betty White, and she's currently on the Food Network. So, as happens with a lot of people who might be normal weight in their teenage years, she put on weight over the years. And she has found that it's been incredibly difficult to get the weight off. Can I get a witness, anyone? Yes. So I think so many of us can relate to that. And you get to a point where that frustration becomes too much. Because what you find is, and this is just my commentary before I get to her quotes, what you find is you get to the point where you realize how much of your life you have wasted obsessing about your weight. Yeah. So many years. So long. And I've been thinking a lot about this myself lately. How much time do people who are in the struggle to shed some weight, how much time of your life has been spent on it? I want you to honestly think about that. How much time, how much emotional anguish, how much mental turmoil, how much physical effort have you put in all at the holy altar of moving that scale? It's exhausting. Exhausting. It will literally kill you slowly. And I think all these people that do that, and trust me, I was one of them. All the people that do that, they don't realize the irony in it. The irony is, with all that angst and all that effort and all that emotion that you put into it, you're actually adding to it being difficult because of the stress of it, because of your constant worry about it and your constant attention to it. That does something called turning on your sympathetic nervous system. And when you're in a sympathetic nervous system, your body's in survival mode. It's going to hold on to every gram of energy on your body, aka body fats, and it's going to think you're in crisis. It thinks you are perpetually running away from a saber-toothed tiger. And your body's kind of going, hey, bruh, so get into a hiding place, because you can't stay in that sympathetic nervous system state indefinitely. Or guess what the result is? Weight stagnation, or even worse, weight gain. So how ironic is that? All the people who put in the effort to lose weight, get healthy, they don't really see the results they want. They push harder, they do more extreme things. They double down on this, they do 10 times as much of that. They cut this, they add that, and they constantly are doing all those things. And nothing moves. The weight stays the same. You step on the scale. Scale goes up. Bad. Scale stays the same. Bad. Weight goes down, but only a half a pound. Bad. Do you see how we fuck ourselves up from the very start with that mentality of looking at the scale as meaning something? Gosh, you guys, if there's one bit of advice I could give to you, if you're one of those people who lets that scale dictate how you feel, is to burn, smash, whatever you got to do to that scale. Because that scale is not serving a good purpose in your life if that's how it makes you feel. No good purpose at all. Now, sometimes when I talk about this, stop weighing yourself, people hear me say, oh, well, you're telling people to give up on themselves. No, that's not what I'm saying. Didn't say that a bit. I'm saying give up on the stress of pursuing fat loss. And one of the ways you can do that is protect your mental health by stopping weighing yourself. That's what Valerie Bertinelli did, which we'll talk about here in a minute when I get into her article. But I'm in full-on rant mode, Jimmy rant mode today, because I feel like People are afraid not to step on the scale because they think, oh, people will think I give up. I will give up. I won't care. But look, you'll know. People always tell me this. They always say, well, how do you know where you stand if you don't get on that scale? How do you know where you are? Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Excellent. People will question you. How do you realize if you're making progress or not? And I'm like, you wear clothes all the time. You know how they fit. You know how it's going to go. How do you feel? It's a big one. Gosh darn it. I hate it that so many people put so much stock in the weight loss on the scale and they forget energy. That matters. Oops. I had so much energy, Instagram thought I was trying to close it down. And vitality, mental health, brain function, all of those things are a sign of vibrant health. And guess what scale measures those things? Not a damn thing. Not a damn thing. Nothing will measure those things. They are a state of mind. They're just who you are. You can't step on a scale to tell you how energetic you are. You're just energetic. You can't step on a scale to know your brain is lit today and you're thinking and thinking on all cylinders. Nope. No scale. You can't step on a scale and see that you are chill as fuck and it's awesome and you're in a good state of mind, a state of joy and happiness that you just can't explain. Do you think that happens by accident? I don't think any of those things are by accident. So if you're one of those people like Jimmy Moore, like Valerie Bertinelli, who you're frustrated with the scale, give that scale up. Protect your mental health. It's going to serve you well. I promise you. All right, I'm halfway through my trail, going through the first leg. I probably should get to the article that I printed out. So this is in People magazine from April 6th, and it talks about Valerie Bertinelli quit weighing herself last year, and says it's helped her so far with her mental health. Those of you that don't know who Valerie Bertinelli is, there she is. This girl, she was a babe and a half on one day at a time. I still think she's gorgeous, but babe and a half on one day at a time when she played a teenager. And wow, yeah, I had a crush on her big time. She's 61 years old now. She's the host of a Food Network show. She said that I gave up daily ritual of weighing myself. How many of you guys weigh yourself daily? I know a lot of people do. Oh, Jimmy, I can't let it go up 1 ounce or I've been bad. So she used to do that too and used to obsess about it. She said she had to give it up because her mental and emotional health were more important to her than worrying about what that weight was on the scale. She realized, listen to this, you guys. She realized that the number she saw, no matter what it was never going to be good enough. If it went up, it was bad. If it stayed the same, it was bad. If it went down, but not as much as she wanted to, it was bad. The only thing that's good is if it goes down to your subjective level of whatever good is. 2 pounds, if it goes down 2 pounds, that's good, but everything else is a failure. You're setting yourself up to fail. You are. And she recognized that. She said that she used to think the number on the scale is never low enough. It's always too high. So I'm just going to crawl under the covers and not have anyone see me until it is. I'll be happy once the weight is gone. Let's focus on that a second. I'll be happy once I get the weight off the body. No. Our happiness is not tied to anything external. Kind of like what we talked about last week on the walk and talk of intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation. Being happy when you lose weight, that's an extrinsic motivation. But if you turn that inwardly, you say, you know what? While I'm trying to lose weight, I'm going to choose to be happy. That's the order you do it in. I'm happy, and that's going to help me lose weight. Not when I lose weight, I'll be happy. Because guess what happens? When you're not happy in the meantime, you're turning on that sympathetic nervous system again. And you're stressing again because you're not happy, because you can't be happy till you lose the weight. You see how this works? Choose to be happy. And look, the choice to be happy is a state of mind. Everybody's like, I need to be happy, and it can only happen when ... fill in the blank. I don't buy that. You guys see me all the time on video. Do I look unhappy ever? Ever? No, I hope not anyway. I try to exude positivity and encouragement, happiness and joy. But am I at the perfect weight? Hell no. Not even close. Are there things about my life that I wish were different? Yes. And I'm not just talking about physical health. I'm talking about relationships. I'm talking about business stuff, all kinds of things. Am I where I want to be right now? No. But in the meantime, Jimmy gonna be happy. Jimmy is going to let his mind know, you know what? While you're working on all that stuff, we're gonna have a good time in the process. Let's go for a ride. Let's ride this all the way to the success that you want. Here's the funny part, you guys. Your state of mind will get you to where you want with the things you want. So the goals you want. So if you're waiting to be happy until you lose weight, you won't be happy until you lose weight. What happens if you're happy while you're in the process? And it's that happiness that was the missing ingredient all along for you to see that success on the scale. What if? What if? Just something to ponder. I know this is going a little bit deep, but I like doing that on Walk and Talk. That's what we do. Let's go back to the article. So Valerie Bertinelli did write a memoir called Enough Already. Came out in January if you hadn't got it. And she said she would stop weighing herself. It was such a big thing for me, she said, talking about weighing herself. I have not gotten on a scale since. My clothes all fit. That's a telltale sign. My jeans still zip up. I guess I was afraid that if I didn't see the number that I wanted, and if I wasn't able to keep an eye on it, that I would just go up, up, up. But that hasn't happened. Listen to that. And it really disappoints me when I hear this in keto and carnivore. Oh my gosh, I have to weigh, Jimmy. If I don't weigh, what happens if I gain weight? I'm like, okay. Sometimes weight on the scale goes up, but that doesn't mean anything has changed. Metabolically, things move around from time to time. Good morning. Things move around from time to time, and you're going to have shifts. That doesn't mean you're not seeing success. And you could see no scale weight go down, but you could be losing body fat as things redistribute. And so I think the scale is the total cholesterol of the weight loss world. So those of you that know my work, I wrote a book called Cholesterol Clarity. And in Cholesterol Clarity, I talked about total cholesterol really not meaning anything. Total cholesterol doesn't tell you what comprises that total. HDL. HDL that's higher is a good thing. And yet it's included in the total cholesterol. VLDL is in there as well. That's from your triglycerides. Basically, your triglycerides divided by 5 is your VLDL. That's in there. That's a bad thing, the higher that number is. Then LDL is not a good or bad thing. It's just an incomplete thing because it's only estimated. They calculate what your LDL is. So you've got a good thing in there that you want higher. You got a bad thing in there that you don't want higher. And then you got this convoluted bullshit of a number called LDLC that doesn't really tell you anything because it's just a calculated, estimated number, and it's highly likely to be miscalculated. And so now you get this total cholesterol that has something you want higher, something you want lower, and something that you don't know what you want with it. And then you spit out this number. Does that number say anything about your heart health risk? Not a damn thing. It doesn't. And so I want you to look at the scale in the same way. Stepping on the scale doesn't tell you the quality of what that weight is. Did you gain muscle? Did you lose body fat? Did you have redistribution of weight on the body? Are you just a little more bloated today? Do you have water weight in there that maybe you overhydrated? You can make the scale weight go down very easily. Don't drink for the next 24 hours and don't eat for the next 24 hours. Your scale weight will definitely go down. Is that what you want to do? I don't think so. So weighing yourself is an incomplete way to measure things. And what Valerie Bertinelli's talking about here is just keep a check on how you feel, see how your clothes fit. That's what matters. That's what matters the most. She admits I'm still a work in progress, but she's very happy so far. And the happiness cannot be underestimated, guys. State of mind, when you have been in diet mindset your whole life, when you have been in deprivation mindset your whole life, which most of us before we found keto or carnivore, highly deprived, highly starving, miserable. At least we get to enjoy delicious foods. And so in the process of that, how about enjoying where you are while you're getting to where you want to be? That's a big life lesson I hope you're getting from today's walk and talk. Valerie says, it's all a test. We're going to see how it works, but I do know that my mental health has improved immensely because I stopped looking at the scale every morning, and that's the first big step for me. Do you know how many people look to the scale for validation? How many people step on that little gravity detecting device and say, tell me if I'm good or bad? Oh, it pisses me off to no end that people think if they go up in weight, bad. If they stay the same in weight, bad. If they go down in weight but not enough, bad. And the one good choice is, oh, if I have a gargantuan number, which is usually 2 or higher, then I was good. Fuck that shit. Sorry, excuse my French, but fuck that shit. You're good enough now. You don't need a validation from a machine. None of that's going to matter. None of it. You're good enough right now. You are enough right now. You hear me? Loud and clear. Remind yourself of that. Trust me, guys, I know this is hard. And it took me a long time to get to this point mentally myself. But once you get there, you are unstoppable. There is nothing that can stand in your way. If you stand in the confidence of who you are, the truth of who you are, you know you're putting in all the effort. You know you're doing all these amazing things for yourself. You see all these other people doing the exact same things and they're seeing incredible results with fat loss and muscle growth and all the things. And there you are stagnant in your weight, but you keep going. You're more badass than anybody I've ever met. Remind yourself of that. Do you know how easy it is to buckle and fall and crumble under that pressure? Guys, I've been in the public eye almost two decades. And I've had my ups and downs. I have. And I've talked very openly about all of them. I don't hide from it. I don't pretend like I don't have a belly. I got one. But you guys also see me. I do things that you don't see many people do. All the time. Today I'm about to hit 100 days in a row of doing an ice bath. How many of these so-called people that are successful have you seen do that? I'm going to go with none. So I'm pretty darn proud of me. And I want you to be proud of you. Doesn't matter what the scale says. You be proud of you. You be happy with you. You honor that person that you are by being comfortable in your own skin, even as you're working on taking care of your body. That's it. That's the lesson today. When you stop denying yourself of doing certain things, you somehow also automatically start to self-regulate. Listen to this. This is Valerie Bertinelli talking again. I found that especially true as I'm trying to take care of my mental and emotional health as well as the weight. You can do both. You can do both. Work on your mental health and emotional state, and that weight is going to be a little easier to come off. But it doesn't work the other way around. If you only work on your weight, but then you never work on your mental and emotional health, that mental and emotional health will start to literally weigh you down. Weigh you down. And I don't want anybody to ever feel like you are heavy because of an emotional toll when you have a physical heaviness on your body. Trust me, guys, I have to protect against this all the time because it's a natural thing for your brain to say, well, because I've got this, I'm not good enough. And then that starts messing with your head. It does. Trust me. Even the best of us, it hits us hard sometimes. But then you remind yourself, but I've got this happening and that happening and these things. And it reminds you of all the good that you have. I don't throw all the eggs of the basket about my health into one category. A lot of people do. Well, if I don't lose weight, I'm unhealthy. Yeah, fuck that. If I don't lose weight, I can't be healthy. Yeah, screw that as well. Because you can have health even as you're working on your weight. I had a really cool story. I shared this in one of my posts, I think yesterday, one of my reels, that on Friday, I got a comment on my reel that I did where I posted the plate of eggs and I made like funny faces eating them and then talked about how this is a great way of eating, very sustainable despite what you hear, blah, blah, blah. So some lady comes on to my video and she makes a comment. She said, that's all well and good, but you're not a very good representation of eating an animal foods-based diet. And so I don't think you should be talking about it being sustainable if you yourself don't have health. Okay, that was cool. I love having conversations. A little rude, a little mean, but I'm used to that by now. Those things don't bother me. So I responded back like I always do. Sometimes irreverently, snarky, just to have a little fun with it. But I said, you know what? That's great. That if weight loss is your idea of health and that's your goal in your health, go for it. For me, I measure my health in a lot of ways. Not just the scale weight, as Valerie Bertinelli has been talking about, but in many ways. Energy, vitality, brain health, mental health. All those things are super valuable to me. Then I took a screenshot of her comment and then my comment and posted it on my stories. I tagged her on it and I put hashtag I define my health. Now, I wasn't being ugly. I was just pointing out, look how people have such a narrow view of what healthy is. Well, she came back with a comment on that same post. Oh, I see you called me out on your stories. Are you that insecure about your health? And da, da, da. So I could see it kind of escalating. And again, I don't get worked up about those things. I stay calm and I stay true to me. And I responded, I stand by my comments because I am doing this for a very different reason than you are. I respect you do it for weight loss, but I do it for health. And I stand by what I wrote. So that's how all that went down. About 10 minutes later, I get a DM from her. And I was like, here we go. And I look at the DM and she's like, oh my God, I am so sorry. I was like, say what? I never have anybody apologize to me after they give me a hateful comment. She said, you're so right. I was only looking at it from my perspective and I didn't even think about that you could be doing this for other reasons. And she's like, and I was kind of having a bad day, and I took it out on you. I'm like, holy crap, this is great. Can this happen to more haters? And it was refreshing because it's rare that somebody shows contrition and truly apologizes. I was touched by it. We ended up talking in the DM for about an hour, and during the talking, she's like, I just went and deleted my comment because I don't want people to think that I'm piling on you like that, because I think you're a wonderful guy. And so I did the same. I went to the story and I deleted the screenshot that I did. And so we kept talking for about an hour on the DM, and finally I was like, why don't we get on the phone and talk? And we ended up talking for another hour on the phone. And she's a lovely lady. Her and her husband have a nice place up north. And I think she said they remodel cars and all this kind of stuff. It was kind of cool. I was like, if you and I were in person, we'd be the best of buds. I said, now we have a killer story. How'd you guys become friends? Well, she was a hater. But look how many people would dismiss somebody like her, by the way. And I didn't. I engaged. A lot of people would block and delete somebody like that. I don't assume you're a hater just because you leave a rude comment. I engage. And sometimes, you guys, it works out. I know that's a little bit of an ancillary story to what I'm talking about here today, but I had to share that because she was challenging me about my goal of being healthy, because she was only seeing it through the prism of the scale weight. Yes. So let's get back to what Valerie was saying. She said taking this leap to stop weighing herself was extremely difficult because she's had a long history of struggling with both her weight and her self-esteem. And I think this is not uncommon. She's over 60 years old now. And so she's had decades of anguish about her weight and about what that weight means and how that's impacted her emotional health and her mental health. How many people spend all that time, waste all that time trying to look a certain way? And look, I don't want to waste another day of my life worrying about my weight. I don't want to spend any more time thinking about something that, despite my best efforts, has not happened. I am not flawed. I am not broken. There's nothing wrong with me. And there's nothing wrong with you. If you struggle, doesn't mean something's wrong with you. I think about those people who never have a weight problem. And they eat all the junk food in the world. And they get away with it. At least seemingly. And they never seem to have any problems at all. And then they go and become dietitians and tell you how you're supposed to eat. Just eat like me and you'll look like me. Yeah, fuck off with that. No. Doesn't work that way. You don't need to beat yourself up when you know you've done all the good things. So Valerie said her weight is the one thing that always held me back, but I want to start feeling the same about myself, that no matter what weight I am, I don't have to wait until I've lost the weight to be kind to myself and to be kind to others. It shouldn't matter what I look like. I'm trying to make that a reality in my life now. And then hopefully my body will follow. That's a great motto. It is a great motto to say, I'm going to be kind, compassionate, loving, uplifting, encouraging. Guys, that's why I'm the way I am. Is I'm not going to waste one breath of this life feeling bad about something that I cannot have complete control over. Because if I had my gumption and I had true control over it, I wouldn't be where I'm at now. And so I want you to take on that same mindset. If you can't control it completely, then control what you can control. And like Valerie talked about, you can control your emotions. You can control who you are, how you present yourself. The energy you exude, not just towards others, but to yourself. All of it matters. I'm doing my best to live by the words I wrote in my book. She said, to not care what the scale says. I think that's always going to be important. I think many people live with a lie that we were told. And the lie was this: we're unlovable when we're bigger and gain weight. But that's simply not true. No, it's not true. It's not true. But I also know, hashtag real talk, here we go. I also know that when you're bigger, people make assumptions about you. They think you're stupid. They think you're lazy. They think you're inferior. Ironically, the bigger you get, the more invisible you become to society. You get overlooked. Trust me, guys, I have felt it. Many of you have felt that. And it's just a reality in life. If you don't fit what is considered the normal, then you're ostracized. Then you're looked at differently. And that's just the reality. Let's not fool ourselves. Let's not pretend like, maybe a few exceptions in Hollywood and things of bigger actors. But let's not pretend like that people who are bigger get treated the same way, because we don't. We don't. We're looked at very differently. We are underestimated, and I call that my superpower, by the way. I do. Underestimate the hell out of me, please. Please underestimate me. Because I will run circles around you if you underestimate me. I'll probably still run circles around you even if you don't underestimate me, but I really will if you underestimate me. If you don't think I'm good enough, smart enough, energetic enough, all the things, hardworking enough, I will. Because I'm confident in who I am. I don't have to explain myself to anybody. This is my life, my journey, and I'm on it. And I'm doing the best I can. And on top of that, I'm doing good in the world. Spreading positive messages all the time. Interviewing amazing experts on all kinds of subjects. Educating. Using my platform. Using my voice. Using my gifts to write, to make books. Which, by the way, One Step Deeper Journal, the foundations, we are days away, guys, of that being available. I will definitely let you know. Follow me on social media. You'll know exactly when it's available because I will be screaming it from the mountaintops. But you can go reserve a copy now, where I'll let you know about it at onestepdeeperjournal.com. But excited to get that book out there. And I start writing on another book in May about cold therapy. So I'm going. All the best efforts of the people telling me I should just go away and die already. I'm not going anywhere. And if anything, it's full pedal to the metal, full steam ahead with everything that makes me me. Not going anywhere. Sorry, haters. Sorry, not sorry. All right. Valerie Bertinelli says she's also worked to stop using food as a tool to ignore her real feelings. How many people do that? How many people get in a difficult emotional state and you just eat? Isn't it funny? We don't turn to steak or mashed cauliflower or those kinds of things when we're upset. We turn to crappy garbage. We do. And those things become our crutch. And so she's working on getting rid of those things. Sometimes you have to just let yourself feel the feeling. My One Step Deeper podcast co-host Brittany Davis, she's got this saying called feel your feels. And that's the thing. When you're feeling all those feelings from the emotional state that you're in, feel them. See what they feel like. Yes, they suck. Yes, in the moment you just want relief. But sometimes it's good to feel those feels and understand where you are mentally, emotionally. Valerie says, I've spent most of my life trying to push down feelings that were uncomfortable. And that for me included food. And so I used food in a way that wasn't healthy. She's not alone. I think refined carbs, specifically sugar, has been the preferred drug of people going through mental and emotional turmoil. Yes, people turn to alcohol to numb. People turn to drugs. But most people by far choose sugar, refined carbohydrates. It's quick energy. It's a quick pick-me-up. And people know it. They like how their brain feels when it's all lit up. And it's just a fact. That's where we are. I know I still do it, she says, talking about eating to feel better. Even recently, I noticed that I grabbed some crackers after I got done with an intense interview. And I said, oh, I know what I'm doing. I'm eating because it makes me feel better. And I'm doing it because I'm uncomfortable with all the feelings I just shared. Guys, if you can catch that in the midst of it, you're going to stop a lot of self-sabotage. And kudos to Valerie at 61 years old, finally figuring this out, knowing her triggers, knowing what causes her to make those poor choices. And if in the midst of that you can catch yourself, oh, you are well on your way to full health and healing that you're looking for. You are. Bertinelli has reached the point where she can now identify when she's compensating with food and she readjusts. Listen to this. Being aware of why we do what we do is very helpful. It sounds so simple, but I think it's something none of us learned in school. It would be wonderful if we could all start. Go look up this People magazine article. Valerie Bertinelli says that her weight is the thing that holds me back. People magazine, April 6, 2022. Loved every bit of that article because she's speaking my language. I have personally been where she is now for a few years now. And it's been so freeing. And look, I get a lot of criticism because people say, Jimmy Moore's given up on his weight. No, Jimmy has not given up on his weight loss efforts. What Jimmy has done is given up on the obsession about it, on the constant having to talk about it. Because I get these snarky people come on my pages, YouTube videos and everything, and they're like, so how much do you weigh? You need to disclose everything about who you are. How much do you weigh now? What's your BMI? How much weight have you gained? Can you talk about it more? Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just like, well, number one, shut the fuck up, because you don't have any right to any of that information. And then they'll come back with, well, you pretend like you're a health guru. No, I talk about everything. And one of those things happens to be health. But I have never called myself a health guru or a diet expert. I've never positioned myself as that. Ever. I'm just Jimmy, sharing from my heart and my own experiences. What other people choose to call me is their business. I don't call myself those things. I don't. If anything, I call myself health podcaster. Really, it's not even just health podcaster and international best-selling author. That's what I say. Those things are facts. I've been podcasting longer than most people, and I'm starting writing on my 11th book coming up. So podcaster and author kind of describes me, but never called myself a health guru. And that's the rub. People are like, oh, you're pretending to be a diet guru and you can't get your body in line. Okay, I'm not a diet guru. But just because I talk about things doesn't mean it won't help other people. If I talk about keto and carnivore, or even fasting and cholesterol and all the things I talk about, if I talk about those things, I don't have to have it necessarily be all working in 100% perfection for me to talk about it. The information is the information. It's factual whether it lives out itself in me or not. I don't understand this cult of personality of things having to apply specifically to an author or to a host of a podcast. Well, they look a certain way, so they can't possibly know what they're talking about. Educationally, I could spit out studies, spit out information with the best of them. But because I look like I do, and not like Paul Saladino does, Paul gets more credibility. Well, number one, he's a medical doctor, but he also looks the part. I feel, oh my gosh, I want to look like Paul Saladino, so therefore I'll do everything Paul says to do. And then the inverse of that with Jimmy. Oh, I don't want to listen to anything this fat ass talks about. Because look, I don't want to look like that. We live in a very strange world where we think it works that way. We do. All right, Jimmy's done ranting. I want to see what you guys have to say. I know there was a lot of impassioned commentary in this one, so let's see what you guys have to say, going all the way back to the top. Lots of people here today. Thank you for that, you guys. Bulletproof says, I agree about the scale. I can tell whether I'm losing or gaining weight without ever having to step on a scale. A scale just causes significant stress. Yes, for all the aforementioned reasons. Goes up, it's bad. Stays the same, it's bad. Goes down, but not enough, it's bad. The only thing that's good is significant weight loss, and you're not going to see that on a daily basis. So most of the time you feel like shit. And that's what Valerie Bertinelli and everyone eventually realizes is most of the time they feel like crap when they're dieting, when they're trying to lose weight, because they're not in a good mindset about it, because the scale is set up to make you feel bad. It's just a shame when you try to avoid the scale and then the doctor forces to weigh you and tells you to eat less and move more and avoid saturated fat. Yeah, when I got bronchitis last year, I went to the emergency clinic, and the first thing they wanted to do was have me step on a scale. I'm like, shit. Yeah, okay. And then, yeah, they said something about my weight. I'm like, thank you. Appreciate that. That's the funny thing. Doctors feel obligated to tell you about your weight. Every big person knows they're big. But most big people don't have the will to try anything. What I don't understand is how somebody who goes in eating a crap food diet and weighs a certain amount gets a lecture from the doctor. But then somebody who eats a clean diet, has improved so many health markers, and yet weighs that same bigness, gets the same lecture. Exact same one. And it's like, can you not see all those health markers are amazing? Oh yeah, but your weight's bad, so you're bad. And they wonder why fat people give up. They wonder why people don't want to try anything, because it doesn't matter what I do, the weight doesn't come off. I might as well eat whatever I want, because the weight's not coming off anyway, and that's what the doctor bitches at me about every time I go. That's what happens. Wendy says, you look extra glowing today. Maybe because it's my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Wendy. Hope you enjoy your special day today. Emily says, damn, you look good today. Hey, look out, ladies. Holla. Great title for her book. Yeah, I like her book. Enough Already. Enough Already is a great expression. Yes, we are enough. Her son is very handsome. Well, yeah, good gene pool there. Like I said, I think every boy in the 1980s had a crush on Valerie Bertinelli. from one day at a time. Lots of me's when I talked about if that's you. Stacy says, I think about it and weigh every day, every hour. That's a little much, Stacy, but I do understand culturally how you got there. Wendy says, way too much. Bulletproof says, eventually I just wanted to feel good no matter what my weight is. That's exactly where I'm at, Bulletproof. I just want to feel good. I want to wake up. I want to feel good. I want to be energetic. I want to be ready to have a kick-ass day. That's how I start my day. And if I can start my day feeling great and feeling relaxed and feeling confident and feeling inspired, then that's a good day. I don't need a scale weight to give me validation or not. And here's the funny thing. People could wake up, and I've seen this happen in real time. People will write me. I woke up this morning, I felt great. I bounded out of bed, felt so fantastic. I did all these things, and then I stepped on the scale, and it was up a half a pound, and it just deflated me for the rest of the day. I'm like, the fuck? Like, if you know it's impacting you that mentally, that significantly mentally, give that shit up, because you were doing great before that happened. You guys know my famous phrase for the scale. It's the lying liar that lies. And it is. The scale does not tell the whole story. And so if it depresses you like that, what I just described, stop getting on it. It is not serving you well. It is not adding value to your life. Oh, but Jimmy, I'm going to gain weight. No, you won't. Eat the way you know how to eat. Be sensible about everything that you do. Keep doing all the things that you do. Add in meditation, grounding, sunshine exposure, breathing, ice baths, red light, sauna, all the things. And then watch what happens. Watch what happens. Obsessive thoughts on it, self-critic, being so hard on ourselves. Yes. All things, Emily, that we do. Scale goes down. We celebrate with eating bad foods. Oh, Emily, you calling them out. That's true. It never helps. Just pinch that scale. Pitch that scale. Sharon says, you're speaking my language. Yeah, I had a feeling this walk and talk was going to resonate with a lot of you, especially my regulars. I'm always thinking about all of my people who watch these. Either if you're watching it live, watching the replay, I read what you comment, and I'm always cognizant of what do they need to hear? What does Jimmy need to hear? What does Jimmy have a passion in his heart to share? And so, thank you for giving me this gift to share my thoughts. I'm a nobody that's got a noggin. I'm nobody special is what I'm saying. But I've got a noggin, and I think things through. And maybe I'll present something that makes you think a little deeper about some stuff. Weighing is similar to obsessively tracking your diet with calories and macros. It is. It takes a lot of your brain energy. That is so true, Bulletproof. You're such a cheerful, friendly greeter, live caster. Thank you, Emily. I feel like so many people come on Instagram Live and they're like, hi guys, today I just wanted, Johnny, sit down. Where was I? And they're just like so distracted, they're so low energy. I have to like turn those off. Like, sorry, I need a little bit of a pick me up. If you ever come on a Jimmy Moore Live, other than me closing my eyes and breathing when I'm in the ice bath for the first couple of minutes, you're seeing an energetic guy who is happy to be alive and happy to be sharing. I'm always trying to be an uplifter. That's just the nature of who I am. So thank you for noticing that. Whew. Carnivore Runner says, I can relate to this in trying to heal other issues in my life. The constant focus has led me to have cortisol issues. I always stay above the normal limits 24 hours a day. As per testing, no doubt this is impacting my healing. Thank you for that, carnivore runner. It's not just weight loss. You're right. If you're trying to heal from an autoimmune disease, for example, or cancer, or any kind of chronic disease, this same thing applies. And constantly thinking about it, constantly talking about it can be exhausting and stressful, as you're notating here. So thank you for making that point. Emily says, vibrant health equals a state of mind. It is. You can choose to be vibrant, or you can choose to be dead. There's no other way to put it. The opposite of vibrant is dead. And I'm sorry, I got too much life to live to be dead yet. I will be dead someday. We'll all be dead someday. But not today. Today I have too much to live for. And I have too much to give. I have too much left in the tank right now. I feel like as much as I've been able to accomplish in my life, I hadn't even done the best thing I've done yet. I believe that. I think the best thing I'm going to do in my life has yet to come. Just you wait. Just you wait. Holly says, I weigh weekly. Look, I think if you're going to weigh, weekly still very often for me. I would almost think once a month. Well, you need to look at it every week for. I mean, I get it if that helps you and psychologically it boosts you. But if at the end of the week, you're still up, or you stayed the same, or you're only down a pound, you've got the same issue that you do weighing daily. So that's a problem. There is this, I'm trying to remember the name of it. I think it's a scale with no numbers on it. Sherpa, I forget exactly what it's called. But they sent me one time, this company, and it was a numberless scale. You literally stepped on the scale, and then you had to look on the app. And the app didn't give you the scale weight. It said, you're doing great. And and it'll give you encouragement. You're doing great. Keep up all the activities you've been doing. Looks like you're on the right path. And it doesn't just look at that moment of the weight, because it does weigh you. It looks at the trend over time. And so as you step on this scale daily, it'll kind of say, you're a lot better off than you were 2 weeks ago. Keep whatever you're doing, keep it going, because you're seeing good progress. Or if it's going the wrong direction, okay, you're trying hard, I can see. Why don't we try to cut calories? Why don't we try to take a walk today after dinner? It just gives you encouragement to do proactive things to work on it. I thought that was pretty brilliant. Look up that, again, Sherpa, Sherpa is what's kind of sticking in my mind. I don't remember exactly what it is, but you might be able to just Google numberless scale and you'll find it. But I thought that was a good idea. The problem is people want that quantification. How much weight did I lose? How much weight? And so I don't know how well it would go commercially. One time a week in the early morning, so I weigh less. Yeah, Debbie, everybody weighs in the morning because that is when you will weigh the least after you go to the bathroom, take off your shoes, and if you're really obsessive, you also take off your socks thinking they're going to weigh a whole lot of weight. Did I just step on somebody's toes? You took off your watch, all your bracelets, all your rings. You've done it. Don't look at me like that. You've done that. You might go for a quick jog, come back, wipe the sweat off, and then step on. I'm telling on myself is what I'm doing. Yes. Hello, Cherish. Thanks for being here. Emily says, you must love yourself and honor yourself now, or you will not be happy later when you are thin. Hear. We think thinness will mean happiness. And all thinness means is, well, you have a smaller, unhappy body. Yep. Smaller, but still unhappy. Yep. You look amazing and empowered. Thank you. Happy Jimmy is a complete joy to interact with. Well, the good news is, Happy Jimmy is the normal Jimmy. Most people don't see me in a sad state because I don't let myself go there anymore. Sadness is a choice. Happiness is a choice. And I choose to be positive and happy and encouraging. Even as I have on my own issues. Look, I don't deny I have issues, but I work on them. Work on them constantly. And like I said, harder than most people. I'm on that really hard last hill. So if I'm breathing a little more labored, that's why. 100% for a positive state of mind. Thank you, Cherish. What if we are happy during the process? Exactly. That's the goal. Cherish says, I'm so happy I gave up the scale about a year ago. It will be life-altering when you do. And you don't miss it. I don't even care what the weight is. As long as I feel good and I'm doing things that will put me in a position for fat loss. I don't need a scale to tell me that. Plus, if I know I'm doing activities that are promoting fat loss, why would it turn into fat gain? That I've never understood. How do you know if you're losing weight or gaining weight? I just know. And you do too. We are proud of you and you're proud of us. Together we're full of life and fearlessness as we move forward in self-love. Yes, Emily. Nailed it, my dear. Kira says, I love my scale. Yeah, Kira, you're weird. With all due respect, my dear, you are not the average person. I mean that with much love. It's just a tool for me. It's like saying, I hate the calculator because it's telling me my bank balance is too low. Your brain works differently than most, Kira. You are a very structured, rational thinking individual. Problem is, most people aren't. Most people are driven by emotion, by their state of mind, and that leads them down these paths of negativity mentally. You are the rare breed, Kira. Why I love you to death. Because you don't give two fucks about anything. That's why you and I get along. Mary says, that's an awesome story about my new friend. Yeah, started out as a hater. And I was able to convert her by the end. That was cool. That was really cool. It's so nice to hear when people start to grasp understanding. And yeah, look, she was a lovely person. She'd been following my work for years. She's gotten a lot of my books. So it wasn't like she was somebody that just came in hating, but she didn't realize how it came across. Now, that same day that I got that comment and that interaction and then the apology, I got someone else similar who said, I can't take criticism and I need to grow tougher skin. And I'm like, look, I'm okay with criticism. I don't mind you criticizing me or anything that I say or do. Just don't be ugly about it. Let's have a congenial conversation where we go back and forth. And then I will engage with you. But if all you can do is name call and point fingers and all this kind of stuff, I don't know you from Adam. Why the fuck should I care what you think? So I don't, is the point. But I will always engage you first. It's very rare that I have to block and delete somebody. If they double down and get super ugly and don't let up, I have no choice at that point. But I would hope we could all learn the lesson of being kinder, gentler, more loving and compassionate with one another when we write comments. I'm very conscientious of that. Even when someone disagrees with me and they're ugly towards me, that doesn't mean I need to be ugly back. It literally just happened today on a post that I left a comment on. and the person came back at me as if I mocked and cussed out their grandma. And I'm like, all right, they're worked up emotionally. Let me come back with compassion and love and respect and facts, because they were like, well, this is true. And I said, well, I could see your perception of that, but what about this, this, and this? And I laid out the facts and just stayed calm. So, happens all the time. We can all be better in our interactions. Bulletproof says many people struggle, wouldn't even do any of these other biohacks that you do. You do them despite the weight, which is what we all should do. I do them because weight loss, yes, I'd love to see it happen, but it's not my primary goal. My primary goal is optimal health, brain health, mental health, stability, mood, all of that stuff. Anti-inflammatory. Those are all the things that I do, everything I do for. And I think we make a grave error and a great disservice to people by putting all of the predication of how they're doing on their health journey just on what their current weight is. And so if I'm the poster child for being healthy but not being a normal weight, I'm happy with that. I'm okay with that. Because look, I've been at this 2 decades almost, and all 2 decades I have had people say, well, you're going to die within the next couple of years anyway. They say that shit to me, you guys. And it's only based on my weight. They don't know anything about my health markers. They don't know anything else about me except what they see on camera. And I'm still here. I'm still active. I'm still pumping out probably more content than any other influencer you know. Think that's by accident? Think my diet and my lifestyle choices might have something to do with that? People never put 2 and 2 together. It amazes me. But like I said, keep underestimating me. Keep on. I love it. Underestimate me to the hilt. Yep. Just as worse is the people who lose weight and then they think they become a weight loss expert and that what worked for them can work for everyone. Yeah, that's a big problem. Very big problem. Even if people don't judge you, we often tell ourselves everyone is judging us because we're bigger. It's hard not to have that mentality, Bulletproof. That's for sure. Parkman says, when Jimmy gets on a roll, look out. Yes, Jimmy's on fire, as Bulletproof says. Jimmy should have an intro video where you come in knocking down a door. Hey, don't give me any ideas, Bulletproof. Have like a Enter Sandman playing in the background. You got my marketing brain going haywire now. Just try to underestimate the Jimmy, stand by and watch him soar. That is the goal, my dear. And yes, Parkman, she is my biggest cheerleader. Mary says, you are like the Duracell bunny. You just keep going and going and going. I swear I have a hard time keeping up with all your content. I have 3 pages of typewritten notes from your Real Talk with Melissa Hagan that I haven't reposted. Yeah, see, I get to talk to real cool people. I get to do these walk and talks. I do all the ice bath videos, which now become a walk and talk at the end. I'm writing books. I'm unstoppable. I love it. You are a health guru, in my opinion, says Bulletproof. You don't have to be skinny to be a health guru. You talk more about the mental side of health than most people do, and it's sorely needed. It is needed. And thank you, by the way. I share from my heart and my experiences, and that has served me well in my online career. So many gurus mention mental health and feel that they cover it by making a cursory statement about it, but it needs just as much attention as physical health. Well, thank you. I agree with you. And it's why I wrote One Step Deeper Journal, The Foundations with Brittany, is it's not talked about enough. You guys want to see my Morozco forge making the ice right now? Holla! I'll be in there. I'll be in there in a few hours. I weigh daily, but don't judge me, everyone. Hey, I don't care if you weigh daily. I'm just saying, if that serves you well, go for it. But most people, it does not serve well, Parkman. So, but if it serves you well, who am I to tell you don't do that anymore? You do what you got to do, my brother. Kira says, my doctors say nothing about my weight loss. Absolute crickets. I want them to get in the scale. Most can barely walk me down to the little room without straining themselves. Yeah, and you're strong enough now, Kira. You could probably pick them up. You're so strong. Good walk today, by the way, you guys. Thank you for that. Kira says the scale matters when you go buy a brisket. Smoking a big one today. Bulletproof likes my imitations, yes. There's one guru I love, but he's very monotone. Oh yeah, back in the paleo world, there's this guy named Chris Kresser. I love Chris, super smart guy. Oh my gosh, but he's so nasally when he talks and stuff. He's got to listen real closely. So he wrote a book, and I was like, please God, don't read the audiobook of your own book. Not everybody is cut out for talking. That is for sure. Nicole says, I don't weigh, but I try on tighter jeans to make sure I'm on track. Hey, that is a good strategy as well. I would not bemoan anybody who wants to use clothes as a way of tracking. I think that's a great idea. Inko Einertson says, I like to weigh daily too, but I detach from the gain or posit being bad or good. Look, that's great, but you're rare. Those of you that get on the scale, I'm not trying to discourage you away from it if you get on it and you get positive benefits out of it. I'm telling you the mentality that most people have is it's a discouragement. And so for people like Valerie Bertinelli, Jimmy Moore, and a lot of other people, it starts to be a mindfuck. And that's no fun. It is neutral information. Look, if you see it as neutral, great. But that's not most people. Maybe I gain muscle, maybe it's water weight, maybe I lose fat, maybe water or muscle. I just like seeing how it fluctuates or doesn't and how it goes up or down. That's good. And that's great that you don't have it affect you emotionally. But again, you're the rarity, not the norm. Debbie says you're a total inspiration. Thank you. I try to be inspirational. I've been more deliberate about it over the past 3 years of my life, where I've done a lot of changes mentally myself. And when you make mental changes, it's hard not to speak from that. So thank you for noticing that. And yeah, I'm constantly trying to wake up in the morning as who can I inspire today and how can I do it? That's literally my motto. So if you come across my work, you're going to be inspired by something that I write, hopefully. I do a lot of content. So eventually I'm going to hit something that's going to inspire you. And maybe this walk and talk today did that. True Wing says, you just inspired me to go for a walk. I need to walk every day, says BDNF guy. It's a good practice. I got into the practice during my Staybatical to 50 in the fall. I did a daily walk. And that walk I just did, that's what I did every single day. And I used to do the live videos every day doing it. That got to be a little much, you guys. I do 4 podcasts a week. I do a lot of social media posts. I'm writing books. And I do this once a week walk and talk. If I did a daily walk and talk along with all those other things, I would be exhausted. So thank you for understanding that. But I do commit to you guys, I try to anyway, when I'm in town to do a walk and talk. I won't have a walk and talk here in a few weeks when I'm at Paleo FX in Austin, because I'll be at the conference that day. But but I'll let you know ahead of time when I do have a walk and talk. Debbie says, great walk and talk today. Thank you. Thank you. Amazing walk today. Thank you, Emily. Thank you for the message, says Kathy. You're welcome. Most people see weight emotionally, and most are not at the point yet to be able to see a negative result in a neutral way. No, mentally, we've not been taught how to do that. So I don't know how people would do that. All right, you guys, that's it. Great walk and talk today. Appreciate you guys watching. Those of you watching this on the replay on YouTube or watching it on Facebook or even here on Instagram, come join the fun. I go live at 11 a.m. Eastern time, generally on Sundays. Right now it's starting to get a little bit warmer, so I may need to push that time back because it was only in the 50s, but I already got kind of heated out there. I was really sweaty, so as it gets to be warmer, I might move it back to, say, 8 a.m., but I'll let you know. Come follow me over on Instagram at Livin' Low Carb Man, LIVIN LOWCARBMAN. Would love to have you come join in live, interact with all these beautiful people. Thank you to everyone who watched this live today, all your wonderful content. I get fired up because I see so many of you here, and I just really, really appreciate you more than I can express. Linda said, this was awesome. Thank you. I will see you in a few hours for your day 100 ice bath. Yes, please come back 5 p.m. Eastern time. Follow me over on Instagram, and we're going to celebrate today. 100 days, big freaking deal in an ice bath. So I'll be back in a few hours. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you later. Bye, guys.